We're down to the final 4 airlines.
Air France is going head-to-head with Turkish Airlines in long-haul economy. We're leaving short regional hops behind to test the service and comfort on 10-hour transatlantic flights. Welcome back to the Flyman Yann Aviation World Cup. Air France beat KLM and Aer Lingus in the first 2 rounds, while Turkish surged past Air Serbia and Swiss to make it to the semi-finals. From free champagne and gourmet meals to world-class amenity kits, each airline will be ranked in 5 categories. Only one will secure a spot in the finals, the other is getting grounded.
Let's see who survives this first match of the semi-finals. Good morning from New York City. It's time for the long-haul economy round. Now, this will be the most brutal test of endurance for these airlines and also for my neck. So, with 4 very long flights ahead of me, let's head straight to JFK Airport and get things started. I've made it to JFK Terminal 1. Now, I've only ever flown from Terminal 7 and Terminal 8 here, so I'm interested to see what it's like inside. Also, you might have noticed this tomtoc backpack on my bag. I'll talk more about that later, but for now, let's head inside. I have never flown Air France long haul before, and there's one detail I found out about their economy service that really surprised me and that I'm really looking forward to. I'll save that surprise for later. Let me know in the comments if you can take a guess what it is, but for now, let's go check in. I've just checked in and got my boarding pass. It was really straightforward. There was a pretty long queue for check-in for the bag drop, but since I'm only traveling with a hand luggage today, there were these self-service machines, and you could actually do a lot of things. I could pick my seat, change it, so I've chosen one at the back of the plane, which has no one next to me, and I'm hoping that sticks, please. But otherwise, I printed my boarding card. Now, actually, I need to go up here through security, so let's do that. That's not security, it's that way. Just made it through TSA. I forgot about all the TSA problems in USA at the moment, so it took a bit longer than usual, but I have seen it worse, so I'm not going to complain. Right now, lounge access is not included as part of my ticket because I'm flying in economy, but you know me, I love lounges, so I'm going to use my Dragon Pass to get in. And one interesting thing I've just noticed is the Air France lounge is open for Dragon Pass and Priority Pass. So is the Turkish Airlines lounge here at JFK Terminal 1, which is the competitor in today's video. So I'm going to try to get in. They might not let me in for capacity constraints reasons, but it's worth a shot. Otherwise, there's like 3 other lounges, so we'll find somewhere. Just as I expected, during the times where there's an Air France flight, they don't let the contract or the lounge card holders in. Ooh, but I've just spotted the Turkish Airlines lounge here, so I'm gonna try that first, because it's probably better.
The Turkish Airlines lounge at JFK can be accessed with a lounge card outside of Turkish flight times. The main seating area has great up-close views of the aircraft right by the window. There's a working area and a dining room with a self-serve buffet and drinks. I had a plate of chicken doner with salad, but unfortunately, no alcohol is served in here. But I'm not ready to put an X on the Champagne Side Quest scoreboard just yet.
I'm not giving up that easy when there's other lounge options. This is Flyman Yann, and I need to get my champagne. Oh, sparkling wine will do. Let's go to the other lounge and see if I can find it.
It might be horribly busy in here.
Hey, could I have a glass of the sparkling brew? Thank you.
But they did have sparkling wine. Cheers. And that's one more for the scoreboard. Right, let's head to the gate.
I was only in New York for a couple of days, so I'm traveling light, and I've got everything I need packed into this Navigator T66 backpack by tomtoc, who have kindly sponsored this video. This is the 40-litre version. It's designed to fit the carry-on requirements of pretty much every major airline. One of my favorite things about this is the dual opening design. So I can open it up completely flat like a suitcase, and in here, I can pack a few days worth of clothes without having to aggressively stuff it down the top. But if I do need to grab something quickly, I do still have the option, because of the dual design, to open it up from the top and grab something quickly like this. Plus, there's loads of handy pockets and dividers to help you stay organized. So there's a quick access pocket here where you can keep your passport, travel documents. I've got my AirPods too. You've also got little side pockets to stick a water bottle. So you've got one on this side and one on this side too. And then there's also adjustment straps so you can tighten it to make it more comfortable. And more importantly, when you're actually wearing it, there's a sternum strap so you can get extra support for your comfort. This is the ideal size for me because I tend to go on longer trips, but they also have a 28-liter version, which is a bit smaller and great for daily commuting or shorter trips. So if you're looking for a lightweight, high quality, durable backpack that's great for daily use or traveling as carry-on, you've got to check out the tomtoc Navigator T66 backpack. There's a link in my description, and even better, if you use my discount code FLYMAN5, you'll get 5% off your order.
There's no clear line of sight to the aircraft today, but you can just about make out the tail of the 21-year-old 777-300ER we'll be flying over to Paris.
Alright, I've just made it on board. I'm at the very back of the plane, 50L. So far, the seat next to me is still empty, but there's a few more people to go. I'm absolutely sweating. It's so hot in New York at the moment, and I've just been running around the terminal. So I'm gonna chill out a little bit now, and let's have a look around the seat.
The seat is in Air France navy blue with a red accent, and it actually felt pretty comfortable for an economy seat. The headrest was four-way adjustable, the legroom was pretty good at 31 inches of seat pitch, and the recline was a bit stiff, but once I forced it back, it felt great. There's no air vents, so it could get quite hot on board. Each seat comes with a pillow and blanket, and we'll see if I manage to get any sleep later on. But first, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for an empty seat because it looks like boarding is complete. So let's head into the skies and see what the service is like.
Okay, we've just reached cruising altitude, and I'm happy to announce once boarding was complete, no one came to sit next to me, so I've got the seat next to me free. I'm actually sitting at the back of the 777 cabin, and there's 4 rows which only have 2 seats instead of 3, so I had to pay a bit extra seat selection for this. I'll put the price on screen. I can't remember how much it was, but I got lucky. No one's here, and even better with this rows 2 is you have a bit of extra seat here for your arms, so I've got great arm room. I think this is going to be a very comfortable flight. So let's get settled in, and we'll wait for the meal service to begin.
It took about 50 minutes after takeoff until the trolley came down the aisle. Thankfully, they were serving from the back as well, so I was one of the first to get served the meal service.
Okay, let's talk about the meal service. I think overall for an economy meal service, it was perfectly fine. It tasted good and I enjoyed it. There was one highlight though, which I'll come back to at the end. Let's talk about the food first. For starters, there was this sort of sweet corn salad. I mean, it was fine, but it was just sweet corn with like a pretty tasteless, watery sauce, so okay. But onto the main course, it was chicken hunter. This actually tasted great. I think the sauce was delicious. There was this half rice, half pasta thing. I forgot the proper name for it, but that with the chicken all mixed together with the sauce, really, really tasty. So great main course. The mini baguette it came with was okay. There was zero crunch to it. It was soft all the way around, so I just put the butter on it, mixed it with the cheddar cheese, which was also pretty mild and not very tasty, not very sharp. The dessert was pretty good though. I enjoyed the dessert. It was it cinnamon, ginger, carrot? I can't even remember now. I just remember it tasted good. Just a small dessert, but nice way to finish off the meal. Oh, and there were also the crunchy sesame snacks, and these went perfectly with the champagne. Yes, you heard that right. Air France, I believe, is the only airline to offer champagne to economy passengers. Amazing. You know, that's a massive Flyman Yann thumbs up. I've just had a glass, and you know what? I'm going to try and order another one. So just for that, they should just win the tournament. Nah, I'm joking. But I'm really happy to see Champagne served in economy. I guess it makes sense because Champagne coming from France and Air France want to show off the best of what they have. But no, really impressed to see that served in economy. So, like I said, let me go order another glass. And there will be another meal service or small snack close to landing, so I'll show you what that is when we get around to it. Okay, we're back for another toilet inspection, this time Air France 777-300ER. It's a pretty spacious toilet actually, old aircraft but still looks good. We've got a nice big sink here, although the tap is way too close to the edge, so I know that's not going to be comfortable to wash my hands. We have some soap included, we have some antibacterial spray, and we have some odor eliminator, which will probably become useful on a long flight like this. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. We've got a nice big mirror here, and the classic ashtray from the good old days. Other than that, it's pretty good. I'll see if the cleanliness holds up towards the end of the flight, but otherwise, let's head back to the seat. And now, what about the onboard amenities? Well, starting off with the IFE in front, there's I think it's a 9-inch screen, so it's pretty small, but for the age of the aircraft, it's actually super responsive. I was expecting like an old, slow screen where you have to drag it 5 times before you get any sort of response, but actually it works really well. I guess it must have been upgraded. There seems to be a very decent selection of movies, including pretty recent releases. There's TV shows, documentaries, so I'm happy with that. Also, there is an in-flight camera where you can see ahead. I did not realize you could get those on 777s. Let me know in the comment if I'm being stupid, but I don't think I've ever seen that on a 777 before. And of course the flight map, all the usual stuff you expect from the IFE, probably some games and whatnot, but I'm not going to play those. And then if you can't find anything you like on the in-flight entertainment, guess what? There is Starlink Wi-Fi. You guys know I love Starlink Wi-Fi. It's great to see this on board. I wasn't expecting to see this on such an old aircraft again, like I said, but it's been retrofitted recently. I've just connected. The speeds are super fast. I've been downloading, watching content without a problem. So any airline with Starlink is always going to get top scores. It's such a game changer since this technology was introduced. So I'm really happy to see this on board. And with regards to charging, there's a USB-A socket built into the IFE screen, and under the seat there is international power socket. So I always prefer to see an international power socket so I can plug my own chargers. So all good. I think overall Air France has got some really great amenities on board, so I'm giving them good marks, but I'm really curious to see if Turkish can take it a level above. I'm not sure. Air France are looking pretty good for now, but we'll see in the next flight afterwards.
It was getting late, so I closed my window shade, the cabin lights were dimmed, and I settled in for a few hours of sleep.
Okay, so the cabin lights have just come on an hour and a half before landing. The crews handed out a little cold breakfast bowl. It was just some sort of fruit-flavored yogurt, a bread roll, orange juice, and some jam, butter, cheese. It was fine, there's nothing special. And with regards to the sleeping, you'd think it would be more comfortable because I have a row of 2. I tried to lie down, but honestly, having to contort myself into a position where it would fit into the space of 2 economy seats was actually pretty uncomfortable, and I've absolutely destroyed my neck in the process. So anyway, I'm going to have to live with that, and I've got some more long-haul flights coming up in the next few days, so that should be fun. I managed to sleep about 2, 3, maybe 2 and a bit hours in the end. I feel surprisingly fine right now, but we'll see. I'm landing in France at 5:30 a.m., so I've got to still make it through the whole day, and I need to get to Istanbul for the next Turkish Airlines flight, so let's see how I do. But for now, I'm going to wait for the descent, and I'll see you on the ground. Okay, we've made it to Paris. That was a 7-hour overnight long-haul economy flight on Air France. And honestly, I thought it was pretty good for what it was. I feel surprisingly not tired, although that's probably going to catch up with me later in the day. It's just past 6 a.m. now, and believe it or not, I'm flying straight to Istanbul so that I can then fly back to the USA for the Turkish Airlines long-haul video, or actually it's this video for the long-haul flight. Maybe that's the tiredness catching up with me. So let's see how Turkish Airlines performs. I'll see you in Istanbul. Good morning from Istanbul. I've made it all the way to the other side of the world. I've had one night's sleep, and right now we're gonna go all the way back to the USA. So I'm probably gonna regret all this back and forth, but for now, Boston awaits. So let's continue this long haul extravaganza. We are back at Istanbul Airport for the third time this season. Now today I'm going to breeze past all of the formalities since we've already been here, but if you want to see more of the airport, check out episode 1 where I flew here with British Airways in economy, and episode 10 where I did Turkish Airlines in short haul business class. That was definitely one of the highlights of the season. But for now, let's head inside. This will be my first time flying with Turkish Airlines in long haul. And as far as I'm aware, they have a pretty good reputation, even in economy. So I'm quite interested to see how it performs against the Air France flight from yesterday, or whenever it was. I think the day before. My body clock is so ruined right now. But anyway, today should be a very good matchup. Let's go check in. Okay, so I've just checked in, I've got my boarding card, but we have a problem. They weighed my carry-on bag and it was like 5 kilos over the limit, so they forced me to check it in, and now I have to walk around with this until we get back to the USA. So it's a bit annoying, but I think I'll survive somehow. Let's go through security and find a lounge. Shout out the lady from DNR Electronics. She gave me a plastic bag so I could carry my laptop. It was getting annoying holding it like this. But now onto the flight. This is an economy flight, so of course there's no lounge access included, but I do have access myself with my lounge card, so I'm gonna head up, grab a drink, and I'll see you for boarding.
Like I mentioned, I did a full tour of the IGA contract lounge in episode 1, so check that out if you want to see more. But for now, I'm enjoying my vodka Diet Coke, no champagne in here unfortunately, and then it's off to the gate for boarding. And man, is it about to be an ordeal. And here's the 4-year-old A350 I was expecting to fly on today. But as we were boarding, everyone was handed out new boarding passes with different seats, which was the first red flag. And then at the end of the jet bridge, we took the stairs down to a bus. And after a short drive, only 2 gates down, we boarded our plane. A bit of a downgrade to this 10-year-old A330. Not quite what I was expecting, but this isn't the end of the drama today.
I just got settled in and I am so sad. We were originally scheduled to be on an A350-900. It was actually one of the Turkoflot aircraft, if you know what that is. It was the ex-Aeroflot aircraft that were never delivered to Aeroflot because of sanctions. So Turkish Airlines and Air India ended up with a few of them. Nice new A350 with a nice seat. We got equipment swapped at the last minute to an A330. So this is an old seat with a bit less legroom, I'm sure. It feels like it. And this is my longest flight of the season, 10 hours. So, all right, I'm gonna stay positive. Let's have a look around the seat, because maybe there's a few good things here. Let's have a look.
I'm not sure how I feel about the color scheme here. The red and blue gives kids' play area vibes, but how about the seat itself? Well, it felt relatively comfortable for now, but I'll give you an update on that close to landing. The headrest is 6-way adjustable. The legroom felt a bit tight for long haul, but it's listed at the same 31 inches of seat pitch like the Air France seat. There was a footrest too, which you don't often see in economy, and the recline felt very good. The seat came with a pillow and blanket too, and also an amenity kit, but we'll come back to this later in the flight. So for the seat category winner, I'm giving this one to Air France. Despite apparently having the same seat pitch, the legroom felt miles better on Air France, which is what you want for long-haul flights. And you might be wondering, Yann, who's the ground category winner? Well, we're not off the ground just yet.
We've been sitting on the aircraft for like an hour and the guys just come on the announcement to say that we have to get off the aircraft and we're going to have an aircraft change, new schedule. Hopefully we get the A350 back, but anyway, this is not starting off well.
So an hour after boarding, we slowly made our way off the plane, down a roped-off area to the adjacent gate, and waited for another hour here until we got onto our third and final aircraft of the day, another 10-year-old A330. I'll give my full thoughts on these aircraft swaps once we land, but for now, the ground category winner can only go to Air France after almost 3 hours of swapping around.
Third time lucky, hopefully. Okay, we're finally back on board. I think we're going to be about 2.5 hours delayed. I'm not going to do a seat tour again, it's the same aircraft type, so let's just settle in and wait for takeoff, hopefully.
The crew started off by handing out a small chocolate to celebrate Eid to everyone on board straight after takeoff. This was shortly followed by a physical menu for today's flight, a water bottle, and even a hot towel to freshen up. I'm really impressed to see all of this on an economy flight. The trolley made its appearance 1 hour and 10 minutes after takeoff, and it was time for the first meal service.
I've just finished up the meal service, and what did I think of it? Well, let's go through each course one by one. To start off, there was a smoked salmon salad. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I love smoked salmon, so it was great to see this, and it tasted excellent. There was also a side salad of cucumber and tomato, which tasted fine. I mean, it was a bit plain, there was a little vinaigrette, but nothing special, just cucumber and tomato. The main course was breaded chicken with rice. Now, this also tasted really good, although I will say the rice portion was a bit on the smaller side. I feel like they missed the scoop back at the catering facility, but it went down well, it tasted good. There was a piece of bread too, which you always get on a flight. It came with some butter, and something you don't usually see is a cream cheese, which I put with it. That all tasted good. And the dessert was this white chocolate mousse. Now, I've never seen a white chocolate mousse. Usually it's just normal chocolate mousse, and I always find it a bit bitter, but the white chocolate mousse was delicious. I really enjoyed that dessert, and overall I thought it was a really good meal service. Went down well, so thumbs up. And for drinks, there was all sorts on offer: wine, soft drinks, juices. I had a lemon mint, which is a must-have if any airline's got it on the menu, although I've got to admit I still prefer the Qatar one, sorry. And I also had the tomato juice, but that's just better served as a Bloody Mary, but yeah, whatever, that's fine. So overall, I think it was a great and varied meal service. But when it comes to the hospitality category win, all things considered, I'm giving this one to
Turkish Airlines.
Okay, we're back for another toilet inspection time. Turkish Airlines A330, and one of the only times in the economy rounds where I've been kind of impressed. I mean, it's still an economy toilet, but it feels a pretty decent size. We've got some branded toiletries here, hand and body lotion, eau de cologne. We've got a pretty big sink, I'm impressed, and a foot pedal down here, which opens the bin. I always love these because I hate touching stuff in these toilets. Although I've only ever seen these on Dreamliners. I didn't know you could get them on A330, so great to see that. Mirrors on either side. Hello. Hello. Overall, very nice for an economy toilet. Thumbs up, Turkish Airlines.
So it looks like that's another win for Turkish Airlines in the toilet category. As I got back to my seat, I peeked out of the window to see we were flying directly over London. It's a bit hazy at 40,000 feet, but it was pretty cool seeing the city from so far above. And I could just about make out Heathrow Airport too.
Okay, and now that I'm back at my seat, what about the amenities category? Well, looking straight in front of me, there's the IFE screen. It seems to be a pretty decent size, a bit bigger than Air France. There is also a good selection of movies. I couldn't tell you which of the two airlines has more movies because, well, I didn't count, and also I tend to just watch stuff on my phone, but it does look like there's enough movies, including recent releases, to keep you busy for a long flight. You've also got TV shows, documentaries, although these are only a few episodes each, as is usually the case on planes, so don't get too invested because you have to finish the rest at home. There's the in-flight map, there's games as usual, and there's also something you don't see on every airline, which is live TV, so that's cool to see if you're trying to keep up with the news or sports. That's available here. And if you're trying to connect your own devices, there is in-flight Wi-Fi, there actually is free messaging package if you're a Miles and Smiles member, even a base tier member. But anything more where you actually need data, you need to be a higher tier or in business class. And the full unlimited package is $25 for the entire flight, which for plain Wi-Fi is okay. But now that we've got Starlink, it's actually terrible. Like, in fact, anything compared to Starlink is terrible. So it kind of hurts to pay $25 when you can get free, unlimited, fast Wi-Fi on Air France in this case. So that kind of lets them down a little bit. And then for charging your devices, there is a USB-A socket built into the IFE screen, and my favorite, an international power socket below the seat. There's just one of them shared between the two seats, so something to keep in mind. But I'm charging my laptop right now, so that's great to see.
And I can't forget to mention this Lacoste branded amenity kit in economy. There's socks, slippers, an eye mask, earplugs, and a toothbrush and toothpaste. I've seen worse kits in some business class, to be honest. This is really impressive. There's also a snack corner in the rear galley you can grab snacks from throughout the flight.
So I'm gonna have to give the amenities category win to
Turkish Airlines.
Just a little mid-flight update from me. Well, a bit further than mid-flight actually. It's 6.5 hours since takeoff. We've got 3 hours left. I've actually, since the meal service finished, just been sitting at my seat and working on my laptop. It's incredibly uncomfortable. There's not enough space. I'm kind of all hunched up, neck down. My neck is already destroyed from this trip, and it's only gonna get worse. But anyway, I'm managing. I don't really feel like sleeping. I get to Boston in the evening, so I just want to land and sleep there. So I have not really had the chance to test the sleeping facilities, let's say. But I can tell you one thing, it's economy. It's never going to be comfortable. So, anyway, I'm going to try and get a few more hours work done, and I'll see you for the descent.
And I almost forgot, we got a second meal service about 2 hours before landing. This was another hot meal, and I had the baked cheese and potato tart, just reinforcing the hospitality category win for Turkish here.
Touchdown, Boston. We finally made it after almost 3 hours of delays, a 10-hour flight. I am exhausted, just waiting for my bag to come through on the belt. But anyway, what did I think of the flight? I just want to start off by saying I'm not going to give any negative points to Turkish Airlines for the delay and the aircraft swap. Listen, it's so frustrating, but the way I see it and the way you have to look at it is I'd rather be delayed 3 hours and be on an aircraft that works than leave on an aircraft with a problem. These things happen, it's the right thing to do, and you can't criticize an airline. You can be frustrated, but they did the right thing. So with that said, what about the flight? Actually, overall, I thought the flight was pretty good. It's a shame that we got on the A330 instead of the A350, but it was relatively comfortable. I mean, you're never going to be fully comfortable after 10 hours, but the seat itself was fine. The meal service was great, actually. The crew were good, if a bit robotic, like I mentioned, but the question is, how are they going to stack up in the categories? Let's look at the scoreboard and see who's the winner.
It's a close one, but Turkish Airlines take the lead with 3 category wins against 2 for Air France. That means Turkish Airlines have qualified for the finals. They'll be fighting for the European trophy in long-haul business class against next episode's winner.
So what do you think? Do you agree with the results? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you've ever flown with Air France or Turkish Airlines in long-haul economy. I want to hear your stories. For now though, don't forget to like and subscribe, because next week is going to be the last match of the semi-finals before we move on to the finals. So don't miss it, hit subscribe, and right now I need to go to my hotel and sleep. I'm exhausted. All right guys, till next time.